Do you have black and white print paper in your stash and you just have not known what to do with it? Today's Tuesday tip, I'm going to show you an idea I think you'll really enjoy and it'll help use up your paper. Are you ready? I am Dawn, welcome, the creator of DD Creates Crafts, and this is the channel for simple, duplicatable cards you'll enjoy making over and over and over again. Now, be sure to watch till step 6 to find out all the tips and all the details. Are you ready to create some crafts? I'm going to turn you down. All right, I have got my trimmer all set up, our regular 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. Now we're going to cut this a little different than I normally do. We are actually going to cut it at 4 1/4 on the shorter side of our cardstock. So now it's going to be 4 1/4 by 11, and then we're going to score it at 5 1/2. So are you starting to see, and it feels more familiar, some of these measurements, the 5 1/2, the 4 1/4. The difference is with this card, it's going to go open from top to bottom versus side to side. So this is your step 1, this is your base. Just cut and score your base. So let's set that little guy aside, and then let's move on to step 2, which is to cut a solid layer of just some pretty paper you would like to coordinate with your base. This one I cut at 5 1/4 by 4, but look at this. If you're not into measuring, you know your measurements from here to here. Your 5 1/2, let me double check, 5 1/2, 4 1/4. So just take 1/4 of an inch off one side, 1/4 of an inch off the bottom side, and that will give you your measurements. If you don't want to measure, if you do, 5 1/4 by 4, and that is your step 2. Now, I want to tell you, as we're getting on to step 3, which is going to be your print black and white paper that you have in your stash, and you've not even used it yet because you haven't known what to do with it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Celebration is a Stampin' Up! Sale, which actually will end February 28th. Free products for you with each increment of orders of 50 or more. So if you order, say, 150, you get 3 free gifts. Now, I'll have links in the description section, and that leads me on to, if you haven't figured it out, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And if you don't already have a demonstrator yet, pick me. I would love to help you meet your crafty needs. So we talked about step 3, which is to cut your print layer. So whatever piece of pretty, fun, black and white paper you've chosen for yourself, we're going to cut this down. So this piece we are going to cut to 5 by 3 3/4. An option for you, if you want to cut this and get your border a little slimmer, you may cut it at 1 7/8 by 3. That's an option for you. But to get your standard 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch, your step 3 is 5 by 3 3/4. Now I have to show you something funny. This is my cheat sheet when it comes to measuring the 1/8, the 3/8, the 7/8. I don't know where those little guys are, so I'll gladly email you a copy of this if you'd like. Just let me know in the description section that you would like to have that. And for more videos like this one, all you need to do is go boop and hit the subscribe button. Do not worry about subscribing. No one contacts you, not even me, and your name is not made public. So I want you to feel confident subscribing to this channel. Now, step 4 is to color our print layer. What? Yes, that's what I said. We're going to color the black and white. Now, should we use pencils? Should we use markers? Guess what? You can use whatever you want. So I'm going to grab some of each. And you're not going to watch me color the whole thing because that'll take a long time. This one, I did use markers. So let's do a couple of our dots just with some pencils just to see the difference in intensity. And it's obvious already, don't you think? And I'll just color 2 or 3 of these. Let me see if I can find a purple. That one's close to purple. Not bad, but not as intense as we really would like. So for the intensity, I'm voting for the markers. Now, I must tell you with markers, that one did okay, but most markers bleed through your paper. I recommend you not color directly on a base if that was your print paper, but color on a layer so that when you layer it down on the other layers, whatever bleeds through will not show. So that's a freebie tip for you right there. So we are on to coloring. So I want to show you a little bit more. Here's a sample card I made for us, and this was using this black and white paper and this stripe paper. So I wanted you to see really the before and after for this card. Am I right? Before and after? All right, so let's put this little guy aside. And then let me bring in, my Stamparatus, because I've got a couple other. We talked about coloring with markers, with pencils. We can also color with ink. So I'm going to show you. I've stamped some green on this colored cardstock. So let me put it down, and I'm going to stamp a pretty flower. And let's get just a little bit more of an idea before I stamp my sentiment. There's my green. I think I'll still do it in green. This gizmo I'm using is called Stamparatus, and it's like my secret weapon to success. I have perfect stamping every time, because watch. Not as crisp a flower as I'd like. I can come back, re-ink my flower, repress it down, because it is in the exact same spot. It doesn't move. I can stamp it over and over and over again. And it's going to be perfection because of this Stamparatus. And when I was a brand new crafter, new to stamping and all that jazz, this gave me confidence because I would get the perfect stamping every time. Now I also wanted to show you some stamping on some black and white, some stamping on some color, and then both, some stamping in color and stamping in black on some print. So I wanted to give you a couple of options along with our stamping. I'm going to take my little flower off. Now the stamps I'm using are part of the, it's already on. Okay, let me get the Hello Ladybug bundle. Now I'm going to do 2 stamps for my sentiment. This says hello. Oh, my stars and garters. Let me line it up. Okay, I just lucked out with that one, you guys. I didn't put my magnets on, and I would not have been able to restamp because it came up. So this one, I'm gonna put my friend. Hello, my friend. And this one I'm gonna put perfectly straight. As perfect as, look what I did. As perfect as humanly possible, you know? And let's add a little ink to the stamp and not my finger. And we're gonna restamp, and this is the sentiment we're gonna use for our little card. I'm gonna do one more little dab, will do ya right there. All right, so now we have a fun hello, my friend sentiment that we're gonna use to build our card. And to cut a die label and stamp the sentiment, this is your step 5. So now we're up to step 6. I was going to say 6 and then step and then back, but anyway, step 6 is to assemble and decorate our card. Assemble our card. Decorating is actually step 7. What? So let's adhere first this, and you can see I didn't color those in. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to decorate over it, so I didn't bother just coloring everything. Using a little multi-purpose Tombow glue here. Glue's nice for putting on layers and embellishments because, I'm gonna put this way, because it gives you a little wiggle room. Say we put it up there, we could shift it down with 0 issues. Now the reason I did this here and I waited to do on my base is I'm going to do a little stripe for myself with a different color, different print, black and white, and then I colored that as well. So I'm going to put this down. Whoop. Oh, it wouldn't have mattered. It matters application, doesn't it? Okay. So I'm going to adhere this down. So I have a little tiny border, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere it flat towards the center bottom of my card, because I'm actually going to add some ribbon as well before we adhere it. Oh, you guys, I got real quiet, and I do that when I think. So just get tickled with me. Okay, so here are some glue dots that I want to put some of these little babies on the back of the card. I'm doing this completely wrong. Let me just put the ribbon to it, and that'll help me, and it did. Do I want it here? Yes, I do. For me, I tend to put things off center. I just love that look. And if you do too, I'll just show you what I'm doing. Yeah, so this is not, the ribbon's not centered, my center is not centered, and that's intentional. I love that look. So now we have our ribbon, and now we're gonna finish up our step 6, which is to adhere our layers together. If you're having fun or have learned something so far, would you go boop and hit the like button? Just show me some love. I'd really appreciate it. I do hope you're having fun, and I hope you like today's Tuesday tip, which is to color our black and white cardstock. Who'da thunk it? I am going to adhere this down flat. You could, if you wanted, to use some dimensionals, but I'm actually going to use some dimensionals on my decorations, which is my die cut, and I actually have a little baby ladybug here for us. So let me get my dimensional. I think I'll put 3 since it's a circle. Do my little cellophane to the side so it doesn't get in our way. And again, I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna put it towards the bottom, right over my ribbon. And I'm gonna put a little dimensional at the top of my butterfly, but only one, because I'm gonna lay her on top of, that looks cute. Do I want her going this way? Doesn't matter, does it? She's layered on top of that, so it pokes it up naturally. And this is our little butterfly, I keep wanting to call it a butterfly, our ladybug bundle, which is actually this cute stamp set and this punch. This is the bundle. So I'll have this in the link below as well. So that is your tip to color everything. And let me bring in the other sample card I made for you. And then this also, I had these, which I was going to show you. This one you could color with the pencils or the markers. I just did some stripes. You could color in your dots. This one I was debating about a splattering or just connecting some dots. So the world is your oyster when it comes to coloring your black and white cardstock, what you do with it, and just how you personalize your own cards. Would you like some information about my monthly card kit classes, the Stampin' Up! Sales and promotions like Celebration, how you order from me? I have a mailing list, which I would just love to have you join and keep you in the loop. I will not put you on it automatically, only with your blessing and permission. So if you request by email a PDF or my jumbo ruler, I will send that to you and will not put you on my email list unless you ask me to. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you back here Friday for another fun card and video. Bye, you guys.